Hello, everyone, and welcome. It is an honor to have you all join us today as we talk about Speechcraft and how to drive its continued success. Speechcraft was an eye-opening experience and enlightened my overall approach towards public speaking. I discovered my strengths and shortcomings concerning the art of public speaking. Speechcraft promoted great team spirit, positive attitude applied when evaluating to motivate. Speechcraft is an impactful program, a great learning curves and boosts participants' confidence in public speaking, planning, execution, and delivery. I don't know how you feel when you hear this feedback. Every time I take part in Speechcraft, I want to deliver the program again and again. Nothing gives the feeling of seeing growth, joy, and excitement in participants. The impact is huge in a very short time. Until you experience, you will not understand it. Before I introduce you our speakers, I would like to share 1-minute Toastmasters Speechcraft experience video with you.
Hi friends! Do you have to speak before a group, in person or online, much like I am speaking to you now? Speaking success is tied to life success, often through little milestones, such as a job interview, an important work presentation, a graduate dissertation, or even a social speech, such as a wedding toast. If you have any of these, or another speaking engagement coming up, Toastmasters International can help you prepare and practice through its Speechcraft program. Since 1924, Toastmasters is synonymous with excellence in public speaking, offering education and training in club settings. But you don't have to be a member to get the benefit of Speechcraft. For your convenience, Speechcraft is a condensed version of what Toastmasters offers its members and is available to you in 4, 6, or 8-week programs. Sign up for a Speechcraft event today.
So I hope so far you are inspired about the Speechcraft and can do. If not, wait. I'm sure you will be inspired and taking action at the end of today's session on Speechcraft and how to drive its continued success. As Zoom Master mentioned, chat is open for your questions and your struggles, your experience to share. Please do share. So let me introduce you our presenters. Our presenters have great depth of experience in planning and delivering adaptable and flexible Speechcraft programs to a niche audience. To take us this presentation, we have none other than Tom O'Carthy and John Finnerty. They have been Speechcraft advocate many years and have used to help clubs grow and help members grow in their own leadership journey. Tom has been a member of Limerick Toastmasters for the past 13 years and has performed all officer roles, some of them a number of times. Over the years, he has performed the role of Toastmasters, mentor, club webmaster, District 71 conference, PRO, club coach, Speechcraft coordinator. He was also area director and division director. He's currently one of 2 D71 contest chief judge trainers. Tom is a certified distinguished Toastmaster under the Legacy Education Program and will shortly complete his first path effective coaching in the Pathways Program, originally from Country Cork. Tom lives in Adare, Cole, Limerick, known as the Pretty Village in Ireland, and is officially retired. After spending almost 40 years working with multinationals in the computer and electronic industry, as well as running his part-time life coaching enterprise. John John has been also the Toastmasters in Limerick Club since 2017 and have done a number of leadership roles such as Sergeant at Arms, Vice President of Education, President, Area Director. By profession, John is a policeman in Limerick Island. He has 27 years experience. Please give Tom and John a warm welcome.
Thanks. Thanks very much for that nice introduction, Sultan. As you mentioned there, yeah, I've done a number of roles. This is my 6th year now in Limerick Toastmasters, and I've done a number of roles, including Sergeant at Arms, Education, President, and last year Area Director. And as you said there, I'm a policeman in Ireland. Now in Ireland here, we're known as guards or Gardaí, and the Irish term for that is An Garda Síochána, and that technically means guardians of the peace. So in Ireland, we're known as Gardaí, which is plural, or Guard, which is singular. So I've been 27 years and I've done various different roles within the Gardaí here in Limerick. And one of my current roles, I have many roles here at the moment, but one of them is I do a bit of PR for the Gardaí. So that includes giving various different talks, crime prevention talks, to Community Alert, Neighbourhood Watch, schools and so forth as well. And I also do a bit on the local radio station here. It's Live 95 FM. Indeed, it was on yesterday afternoon, just giving out details of local crimes and asking the public for assistance in solving them, and also giving some crime prevention advice as well. So over last year, apart from doing area director, I had heard about this thing called Speechcraft, and I thought to myself, why not put a program together to, I suppose, further my own leadership skills or personal development as such. So Tom O'Keefe, I knew would be able to give me a hand. He had done that before. So between myself and Tom, we decided we would put this together. So we knew Zoom worked because of the pandemic. Everybody was using Zoom. So we decided we'd use Zoom for this particular purpose. And of course, the whole country was shut down. Indeed, the whole world was shut down. So Zoom was the only way that this was going to work. So we decided on 6 Tuesday evenings, something similar to our local Toastmasters club, so that we would log on at exactly 7:45 p.m. and start the programs, then the workshops at 8 p.m. and finish on the dot at 9:30 p.m. So the thing is, where are we going to get the participants? So within Limerick division here, that's what we call the local county Limerick. There's about 500 Gardaí and Garda staff, and Garda staff are people who help us out in the different Garda stations. So I decided I would send an internal email out to 500 and see if I could get 6 people who were interested. And I suppose luckily for me, it was during the pandemic, people weren't doing a whole lot, and the Garda Training College here in Ireland was closed down, Templemore. So all the Gardaí, all the trainers were out doing frontline duties all over the country. So I decided, well, why won't I put this together? So I sent out an email anyway, and it was a pretty good response. So we started with 6 people. So I decided then that the only way we can make this work is if we can make it remarkable. And I just want to talk about that concept of what is remarkable. So Tom is going to share some slides with me here. So can you just move it on to the, yeah, Tom. So as everyone knows, this is a cow. So there's a parable here I'm just going to speak about. So this American tourist, he arrives in Ireland and he's from New York, and he's never been out in New York before, and he's never seen a cow, and he's driving through the south of Ireland. We call it the Golden Vale period here. The land is very rich and there are a lot of cows. So he's driving along this road anyway, and he sees a field of cows, and it's during the summertime, and he stops and he looks in and he sees this Frisian cow, which you can see there, and he thinks, wow, isn't that amazing? That's a cow. I've never seen a cow before. Absolutely amazing. So then he drives on a small bit and he stops at another field and he sees another cow, and he thinks, wow, this is amazing what they have here in Ireland, all these cows and this lovely milk. So then he drives on another bit and he sees another herd of cows. And this time he's getting a bit fed up with cows because really, you know, cows, they're a bit dull and they're a bit boring. They're all the same. They're black and white. They produce milk. Big deal. What's fantastic about that? So then he gets back into his car and he drives on another bit and he stops and he looks in and he sees something completely different. He sees a purple cow and he thinks, wow, isn't this amazing? I've never seen a purple cow ever before. This is remarkable. So he stays a long time gazing at the purple cow, and then he goes back to Cork where he's staying, and he's in the hotel, he's in the bar that night, and he's talking to all the Irish people. And he says, I've seen something remarkable today. I've seen a purple cow. Now, what's remarkable about that? Well, it's remarkable because he makes remarks about it. He tells everyone about it. He remarks. He tells everybody. So in the hotel that night or in the bar that night, he speaks to everybody and he tells them about this amazing cow that is seen. It's remarkable. And if something is remarkable, it means you make a remark about it. So can you take this concept about remarkable and put it into other contexts? Yes. Now this is the tourist industry. As everybody can see in there, it's the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Now, has anyone an idea of how many people come and see the Leaning Tower of Pisa every year? Well, it's actually 5 million people. So 5 million people show up because they want to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa every single year. Now, why do they go to Pisa to see this tower? Why? Because it's remarkable. Because people want to make a remark about it. They go home, they tell all their friends about it. It's probably the only leaning tower in the whole world. It's remarkable. Now in Limerick here in Ireland, we have a castle called King John's Castle. So how many people show up every year to see it? It's 100,000 people. So why don't more show up? Well, it's not really that remarkable. It's not as remarkable as the Leaning Tower of Pisa. So only 100,000 people show up. So this concept of remarkable, can you use this concept in business? Just the next one, Tom. Just go back one more. Yeah, there. Now this is Sean Lally. He owns the Hotel Woodstock in just outside Ennis. And he bought this hotel back in 2016. Now Sean has been involved in the hotel industry for about the last 25 years or so around Limerick, and I've known Sean all this time. So Sean bought this hotel just outside Ennis. So one of the concepts he came up with, how could he make this hotel remarkable? Now the hotel, it's not in Italy. It's not overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. It's not on the French Riviera. So how can he make that hotel remarkable? So what he decided to do was he would come up with a number of videos that he would produce himself at home, and just himself and his wife on those videos. So he decided to produce those videos during COVID last year and send them out and see if they would go viral. So that's what he did. So I just want to give you a small sample of one of the videos that he produced here.
Elaine is looking for some old-fashioned romance.
I'm looking for somebody that doesn't want to spend all night at the pub drinking pints. Someone that dresses well and remembers my birthday. I just want a bit of conversation, a bit of enjoyment and interest in the same things I have.
Sorry, John, we seem to be having a little problem here with the video. Just a second, I'll try it again.
Yeah, no bother.
Hi, how are you doing? My name is Sean. I suppose I'm looking for somebody who's a bit like a going out with one of the lads, so it's one of the girls. Housework, do want to know about housework. I fell out with the last one over housework. So, just can't do housework.
Hi.
How's things?
Good.
How are you? And Sean. My name is Sean.
Hi.
And the ladies call me Teddy Bear.
Oh.
Sorry, barman, do you mind if we get a sex at the beach, please?
No problem. I'm right up there.
Thank you. I love sex at the beach.
Oh,
Did you ever try
lovely. No.
Is this your first time doing first dates?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I'm
Is it?
very nervous.
Nothing to be nervous about. I do this all the time. That was my first date, but I'm on Tinder the whole time. Swipe left, swipe right,
What are you looking for in a woman?
Oh, no stress, no pressure. Housework. Do want to know about housework. I love redheads as well.
Oh.
Love redheads.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Would you excuse me? I just want
Yeah,
to
no
go to
problem.
the ladies, please.
Yeah, no
Thanks a
problem.
million.
See you in a minute.
Yeah, sure.
Bad.
He is the worst of the worst. His opening line was, "Hi, my name is Sean. The girls call me Teddy Bear." I know.
Yeah, and she fell for me straight away. I used a teddy bear line, and you could just see her eyes melting,
He just wants someone to clean. He doesn't want any stress.
And I'd say she's a good chef as well. You can just tell, the way you can tell. Yeah, this one, I have her eaten out of my hand.
Hi.
Oh, how are you doing? Yeah, Jesus, I thought you got lost there.
Oh, sorry about that. I got delayed in the ladies.
You weren't going to do a runner or anything like that with me?
No.
Ah,
no.
good. I knew you were enjoying it.
So, will we split the bill?
Yeah, I tell you what, just on that, you're not going to believe this. Did never get my wallet. Would you mind?
That's just fine. Yeah,
I knew
just
you'd be
fine.
fine about it. Yeah. And sure, the next night, I'll get the next one, and that'll balance out. Then it will be 50-50. Do you mind have one more drink? Hi.
Hello.
Great night.
Yeah.
Will you be seeing each other again?
Yeah, I think in fairness, Leanne certainly ticks a lot of the boxes for me. We had a great night, got on very well. She's a really nice girl, and yeah, I'd love to meet her again.
Leanne is not my name. My name is Elaine. What man would go on national TV without his wallet?
Simple mistake. But I'll get you back the next day.
No, there will be no next time. Ever. Ever. If I ever see you again, it'll be too soon. I'm sorry. I really have to go here. This was the worst experience of my life. I'm sorry.
Leave this. Leanne, wait. Or Elaine, I mean. Elaine. Come back. Don't go, Elaine. We can talk about this.
That's it,
So
John.
So that's Sean and Elaine, and as I said, they own the Hotel Woodstock in Ennis. And they started creating those videos last year during COVID when they had lots of time, and they just sent them out there, and all the videos went viral. They've made about 20 videos, and they're all equally as funny. They're absolutely brilliant. So these videos have gone all over the world. So now they're getting phone calls from all over the world saying, "Is that Sean Lally from the Woodstock Hotel? Yes, I really, really love your videos. I want to come and stay in your hotel." So as a result now, he's created something that's remarkable. He's created a purple cow, and people are coming from all over the world just to come and visit his hotel. So another thing as well, every year American companies, they want to hold conferences in Ireland. So before Sean would contact these companies, he would and pitch to them, and he wouldn't get past the gatekeeper. But now he would ring and say, "This is Sean Lally from Hotel Woodstock in Ireland." "Oh, really? Are you the guy that's producing all those funny videos?" "Yeah, we'd love to have your conference in Ireland." So the concept here is the purple cow. Make your product remarkable. It's the same in business. It's the same in tourism. It could be the same in your professional career. Are you doing something that is remarkable, that people remark about, that is completely different from everybody else, and also something that is solving a problem? So that's one of the things myself and Tom tried to get across when we were putting together our Speechcraft program. So we've run a number of them now at this stage. And what I think is remarkable is that we tailor it towards the participants. So the participants are mostly Gardaí and Garda staff. And it depends on the 6 people we get. If we get some kind of younger Gardaí, what we do is we do an education slot on court presentation. Now, I've been in and out to courts for the last 27 years, sometimes a couple of times a week. So I have a fair idea like how to give evidence in court. So this is one of the educational slots that we run, how to give evidence in court. So sometimes as a Garda, not only will you have to give evidence in court, but you will also be cross-examined as well. And this can be really intimidating. But not only that, but you're also member charge of the case. So you might have up to 100 witnesses, and trying to organize all those witnesses for a day or a couple of days in court. So that's one of the areas that we work on, that 10-minute educational slot, how to give good court evidence. So that's something that we focus on. So we include all the other different materials as well, such as body language, researching your topic, speech organization, and also something like managing your anxiety. I think that's very important as well. And this time we're doing something on management and leadership. So when we have the participants, sometimes they say to us, well, you know, how is it possible? Like they do, it's 6 weeks. So over the course of 6 weeks, we get them to do 5 speeches, starting on the second night, 5 weeks in a row, and that's 5 minutes, roughly 5 minutes each. So there's a fair bit of work in this for the participants. So they ask us sometimes, well, how is it possible, you know, to get time to do this? Because as Gardaí, we work 12-hour shifts, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And they say to us, well, how is it possible to slot in this extra work? So I tell them a story about Jerry Seinfeld. And Jerry Seinfeld is, as you know, a very famous comedian and one of the most successful comedians in the world. And he was asked one time how to become a successful comedian. And he says, the way to become a successful comedian is to write good jokes. So then the interviewer says, well, how do you write good jokes? Well, you write jokes every day. That's what you do. You schedule a specific time. So if you're working 12 hours a day, even if you can only schedule 15 minutes, we say between 15 to 30 minutes, surely you can schedule between 15 and 30 minutes every day, no matter what day of the week it is, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There has to be 15 to 30 minutes there somewhere that you can research your speech, that you can put it together and do this every single day, 7 days in a row. Now, when you've that done, what Seinfeld does is he has this thing. I don't know if you can see that there. It's like a calendar. And what he does is every single day when he finishes writing jokes, he puts an X. And I'll just show it again. So he has a calendar, he puts the X and marks off every single day. And so what he's doing is he's creating a chain. So after a couple of days, he's got a chain. So the thing is, it's not about writing jokes anymore. It's about not breaking chain. So write jokes every day, 7 days a week. And it's the same with preparing your speech. Do it every day and put that X in the calendar. So it's not about preparing your speech. It's about not breaking that chain. So that's one of the things that we tell them. Now, if you're going to come up with this content, well, the thing is, where are you getting the content from? Well, you have to consume the content. You have to read books. You have to talk to people. You have to find out. So the idea for the Purple Cow, I got that in this book here. It's by a guy called Seth Godin. It's a short book here. Seth Godin, he's an American guy. He's written various different books. And he actually writes a blog every single day of the week. He's been writing a blog since, I think, 2002, 2003. And he writes a blog every single day of the week. So another book that I take information out of here is this Talk Like TED. And there's some fantastic information out of that book as well. And we can send on those details afterwards. So I'm somebody who reads a lot of books. So that's where, you know, I get a lot of information from. So last year when COVID came, I decided I would read about Lyndon Johnson. So I bought this book on Lyndon Johnson. So it was about 1,000 pages in it, volume 1. So I got through that book and I thought, well, I need a bit more. So then I bought volume 2. So I read volume 2, another 1,000 pages. So I thought, well, no, I'm still not finished. I want more. So then I bought volume 3. So about 1,200 pages in that one. So I got through volume 3 and said, no, I'm still not finished. So I want to read another one. So this is volume 4, another 1,000 pages. And the author, his name is Robert Caro, and he's currently writing the 5th volume. And he's been writing about Lyndon Johnson since 1976. So I can't wait for that 5th volume to come out. So I think you've probably heard enough about me, content and the remark, purple cow and all that information. So I'm just going to hand over to Tom, and he's going to talk to you now for another couple of minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Just starting my clock as well. Right, can everybody see this, hopefully? This is the, I think this is the header we use when we're publicizing Speechcraft, not just within the current people that we have Speechcraft going on with, but also there's quite a lot of number of companies in our area that would be interested in doing this program. And there's a couple of problems that we have in trying to do that, and I'll explain it in a minute. I just want to give you the logistics of what we're doing with our current program. It's based on the Speechcraft advisory program that we have, and you probably are familiar with, but we kind of deviated it slightly. So I'll just give you some overview on that. First of all, it's a 6-workshop program, and each workshop is 90 minutes. It's condensed, so it's focused on helping participants to learn and practice the fundamentals of effective and confident public speaking. We're not really talking about leadership and any of the other stuff here. We're talking about just public speaking. It's a flexible learn by doing course, and it involves 6 workshops, as John already said, each of 90 minutes, conducted in a fun, safe, and relaxed atmosphere. Now, there's a choice of different workshop formats that we advise people. We have a virtual via Zoom, we have hybrid, and we have physical. The training course is facilitated by experienced members of Limerick Toastmasters. And that's the first problem, because they're 10 on the ground at the moment with people disappearing and not coming back. And also the biggest problem we have is people being available during daytime to be able to do this. But more on that later. Each workshop consists of participants' prepared speeches. Then there's participants' speech evaluations after the first time we do the evaluations, and then they take over. Participants do impromptu speeches. Facilitators education talks. There's at least 1 or 2 every workshop. And each time we have a closing Q&A session, just making sure that people grasp the information that we gave them. And this is the team. They are the Speechcrafters, which are the new name for participants, and they are the facilitators. Now, normally we have 2, sometimes 3, because we are trying to get experienced guys to come in and do 1 or 2 modules in 1 or 2 of the workshops. And as we keep doing that, we'll get more and more fairly experienced facilitators. But we're looking around, maybe with other clubs as well, to especially locally, to come and help us in that area. Now, this is what, and on the left-hand side, this is what TI recommends, the different roles. They talk about a coordinator, a guide, a session topics master, a general evaluator, and an education presenter. And it means separate people for all of that. But because we're restricted in the numbers, basically the 1 or 2 people are involved, and maybe 3 sometimes. We do all of those. We don't do topics master, and we don't do general evaluator. We don't have time, or we don't have the manpower for it. But we do participant guides, mentors, and coordinators, which are the same roles really, except the coordinator is a bigger role. And then we also do things like timers and education presenters. This is the kind of certification that each of the people who are on our course, this is what sells it. We tell them you get a certification from the most recognized training company in the world, and that is Toastmasters. And that's what kind of leads them into us, really. They don't just want to do any old speech. They want to do our training. They want to do something that from a recognized company such as Toastmasters. Now, on the left-hand side are the 10 topics that TI recommends are covered. Choose a topic, prepare and present. Feedback, giving feedback, how to evaluate, know your purpose, body language, vocal variety, and powerful words. Now you can see on the right, we do actually cover all of those projects, but we have quite a lot more. Things like public speaking anxiety, which doesn't have any input at all in Speechcraft that I can see at the moment, although we have asked TI to change that. Understanding active listening, understanding how your mind works and why you do the things you do, a little bit about leadership, and John said there, effective delivery of court evidence. And we do a little exercise called act as if. So we are doing everything that TI asks us to do, but we're doing a hell of a lot more. Now, this is when you go and buy the bundle, this is the website you go to. Unfortunately, it's been down for the last 3 to 4 months. So you cannot buy a digital bundle at the moment for $50. So what do? Well, we'll carry on anyway. So once you get that bundle and you get a number and your receipt, you log into this website called speechcraft.toastmasters.org. And that is the portal for getting into Speechcraft. And believe it or not, it's called Basecamp, the same as Pathways. So you log in, and then you put in your name, and just the same as you would into Pathways. And then what you do is you create a new event. And in the end, the bottom there is the home screen for Basecamp. And it's very, very similar to the Basecamp you use, but not the same that you use for Pathways. Now, some of the material that we use at the moment are the printed material we got before the websites went down in Speechcraft. So we use quite a lot of that as reference material as well. And you can see down at the bottom there, there's a public speaking survey that we give everybody on the first day and even before the first day, we give it to them in advance so that they complete. So we kind of get an idea of what level of expertise we're dealing with the 5 people. Now, because we don't have access to the online material, we provide them from our library, our own library. It's a multimedia library. We provide them with various different materials. And after we've done the actual presentation, we follow up with giving them reading material that they can read, and they can come back and ask us questions afterwards. Now, where do we get this material? Well, there's quite a lot of it available in our library. You'd probably be familiar with the sources for a lot of this stuff. Pathways Level 1, we use that intensively. The old Competent Communicator, still a lot of information in there. The Better Speaker series, we use quite a lot of that. Extract things, leave things behind. Advanced serial manuals, we do quite a lot of that as well. And even the old Speechcraft manual you can see down there on the bottom, we use that as well. And all of these are guides to help us put together the information that we give to the participants. Now, this is our website, and because there is we don't have access to interactive material from TI at the moment, but believe it or not, on our website, we have a thing called education videos. And this is just an example. Impromptu speaking, there's Mike Carr doing the championship speech he did in 2020. And then there's like some of the other videos there, body language. I think we have something like 20 different short to medium-sized videos on that website. So it's a great facility to have. And we have sent our participants to look at those videos as we're doing each thing, like impromptu speaking or doing body language and gestures. We'll tell them to go and watch that afterwards. Believe it or not, we also send people to the Toastmaster magazine, and they can read material in that going back almost 90 years. There's loads of opportunity there to read articles and things like that. So they're getting quite a lot of information from us. Now, this is an overview of our agenda for each workshop. And the first 2, I've detailed the times, the estimated times we use. For instance, introductions and Speechcraft overview, we allocate 10 minutes to that. Why improve your public speaking is an education talk, which we allow 10 minutes. We do impromptu speaking, but we also do a sample of that. So that takes 20 minutes. And usually it's either me asking John a table topic or he asking me. We're giving you an example of what it looks like. How to prepare and present. That's remarkable. You just watch John's presentation on that. We also do that as well. We also talk about organizing a speech topic, and so on. And at the very bottom there for 10 minutes, we talk about understanding and managing public speaking anxiety. You'll never get rid of it, but you can understand how it comes and you can manage once you understand. Then on agenda workshop 2 there, we start off with doing prepared speeches. And then the facilitators will evaluate those speeches on workshop 2. We talk about planning, preparing, and practicing, the importance of speech purpose, and an overview of speech evaluations. We give them quite a lot of that. And remember, they're also getting reading material when we finish the actual live meeting. That's just an overview of the other 4 workshops. And you can see there that it's almost exactly the same for 80% of the whole meeting. The participants do speeches, they do prepared speeches, or they do evaluation of those prepared speeches, and they do impromptu speeches. So the other, in this case there, workshop 3, you will see there's a speech about the importance of body language. That's a 10-minute speech, and also knowing your audience. And it's all finished by Q&A in each time. One of the things there in workshop 4, which is not really, you would say, to do with public speaking, but it actually is, it's about how the mind works. And that explains to them why sometimes they can get over a hurdle of getting over the fear of public speaking. It just basically tells them that your mind is working against you in a lot of the times, and you have to be aware of it. So it is very handy and very, very important. Vocal variety and language is covered. And then we do a little exercise at the end called Act As If. And that's basically imagining it's 10 years from now. What would you be doing? What would you be doing that you now know what the information you know after 5-6 weeks? What would you do different than you would have a couple of weeks? The one bit of information that's missing on that slide there is the workshop web link. We give that every time and it's a standard workshop link for the whole of the 6 weeks. Now, Speechcraft basically is all about mentoring as well. For the duration, participants will have access via mobile phone, WhatsApp, text, or Zoom to one-to-one mentoring with a designated facilitator. Well, there's only normally 2 of us, so it's either one or the other. And it's as they require it and at a mutually agreed time. So from time to time, I've got phone calls on a Friday and on a Saturday, not a problem. But it's usually at a time when I'm available. So like, don't call me at 9 o'clock in the morning, I'll be still in bed, that type of thing, or in the pub at night time. So this is something that is not on any of the recommendations for the TI version of Speechcraft, but in our case, we throw that in because we think that's important. Now, this is the one we use for the Irish Police, the Garda, and you can see those check marks there. That's what goes out to 15,500 Gardaí in the whole of Ireland. And as you see there, we call it program completion certifications are awarded by Toastmasters. That's when we can start getting them again. And we call that the world's most recognized education company. And John Finnerty is the contact person there. So anybody who wants to book the course, and there's quite a lot of backlog waiting to get into this at the moment. And we limit it to 5 participants. We're tying with the idea of maybe increasing that, but we'll see what way that goes. So that's it. I'll leave you with questions and answers, and I'll stop sharing.